ShTF shotguns. Topic that I'm going to cover in this video today being that I've settled a little bit on a system that I kind of want to share with everybody. The system involves 3 shotguns, one here, and of course the Mossberg 590 Shockwave that you see here, which is unloaded YouTube. As you can see, there is nothing in there. This is an excellent little personal defense item I have found. Not that I've ever used it in personal defense, but you can imagine the possibilities of something this small and compact. As a matter of fact, I actually have a little bit of a system that I can use this where it's attachable to a magnet in a very intimate place that I'll show you a brief little glimpse of, but other than that, I'm not going to take you all into my bedroom, guys. Just saying. But let's talk about ShTF shotguns and what I've settled on for my personal system. And as I've talked about before, it involves standardization of manual of arms, which is very important to me. We've talked about in the past how I've standardized my manual of arms for my handguns, for my rifles, and now we're going to talk about how I'm doing it for my shotguns. Now, what does that mean? Well, the Mossberg Shockwave, of course, is it's the 590 configuration, but based on the overall 500 configuration, I'm going to show you 3 different variants on the same theme. Now, this is actually very bare bones Mossberg Shockwave, and I actually feel for people that want one of these in the 2025 landscape but don't have one of these already. When I purchased this Mossberg Shockwave, what was it, circa 2015, 2016, I really don't remember, but I bought these when they first came out, and I think I paid like $250 or something. They're going for $450, $480, sometimes upwards of $500 for just a basic shockwave out there right now. So that's kind of a bum deal for people in this day and age, but hey, sometimes you likes what you likes and you want what you want, so maybe you just want one anyway, so you're going to go pay for that, irregardless of what it costs in the past. Simple little design. It's got the bird's head grip. It, of course, is not technically a shotgun. It is any other weapon. I will put a link down in the description where I did a full kind of, I guess, breakdown of what this actually is classified as. But very short barrel on it. I'll put the specs up there. 5 shells in the tube, plus 1, of course. Unless you run an Opsol mini clip in it to run mini shells, which I did before, and maybe we'll talk about that in a minute if I remember. But the Mossberg manual of arms, let's talk about what that means. So you have the pump release button here, so it's locked up unless you press that. So you have the pump release button, and then you have the ambidextrous safety here. Now all 3 of the shotgun type weapons that I'm getting ready to show you have the exact same manual of arms, the same manual safety, the same pump release, and the same overall manual of arms. So you could understand in close quarters where this would be a cool little tool for doing many a different purpose. Keep an eye on what my dog's doing. Now, what I'm thinking about doing is actually SBSing this, filling out the Form 1, bootlicker, whatever. I try to stay legal as much as I can, but I'm very much considering the Woox, that's W-O-O-X, wooden furniture for both a buttstock and the forend, effectively rendering this a short barrel shotgun. I'm still kind of deciding whether or not I'm going to do that, but I do have a rail mount coming in that is going to allow me to not only have Glock style sights, but also the ability to mount a holographic optic to it. So more to come on that, but that is the Mossberg Shockwave. Now, a variation on that theme I'm about to show you now. You will see behind me on my self-constructed, self-welded metal gun rack here, I have a very spicy tool, the M590 A1 retrograde. Kind of a, it's pretty sexy. It's a 12 gauge shotgun. It's got ghost ring sights on it that I have put a leather sling, an M7 bayonet, and adapted with a rail mount here to mount a light. So this is a multi-purpose tool, homestead tool. It has the Opsol mini clip in it, and I have 13 Aguila mini shells in it of this exact 12 gauge buckshot. And I'm not gonna, rack it or do anything further on that other than to demonstrate that it does have the same manual of arms, ambidextrous safety, button for the pump fore-end release. And other than that, it's the M590A1 retrograde. It does have a butt stop because it is a shotgun. And it's got the added benefit of being extra gnarly of having a bayonet mount. And that is a spicy little tamale right there. So, if you run out of ammo or have a special situation that you have to stick something, let's just say, this little baby gives you the ability to have standoff, if you know what I mean. So that is a much larger, longer version of its little buddy, the Shockwave. So you can see we have a very similar system here. So we have personal close self-defense, theoretically. Other forms of defense, maybe even, hunting with those ghost ring sights. Ability to command multiple types of different shotgun shells in 12 gauge configuration, which we will talk about that here in a minute. But I'm going to show you my third option in this system, because this is kind of something that has been a longer evolution going back several years. This very long doodad here in this very FUD looking case here. So I will show you what I have in here. Oh, having some tendinitis in this arm from martial arts, so that can be a little painful. Now this guy here only has bead sights on it, but I'm looking into getting a rail where I can put a green dot. I was a little envious the last time I went turkey hunting with the family that I went with, that they had a shotgun with an EOTech on it, which is what I'm thinking about getting for this setup. But this is my Mossberg 835 turkey gun, able to shoot magnum rounds. As you can see what they look like compared to standard rounds that are the 2 3/4 inch. Mossberg 835 turkey gun. This is the gun that I take turkey hunting. I have the Grand Slam, as you can see there. These are the turkey shot 2-ounce 3.5 inch shells, which this particular gun is set up to shoot, and it does have the ability to mount the rail there. So we have the 835, the M590A1, and the Shockwave for kind of 3 levels of different types of use. But again, ambidextrous safety, same button for the pump release, same trigger, basically all the same manual of arms. And this one I do like from the standpoint of basic shotgunnery, that it does have a 2 bead sight system, which gives you a little bit more accuracy over something just like this with the 1 bead system. But you could probably infer the many different uses. One thing I will point out, the little add-on Velcro thing there for added shells. But other than that, I will point out that all of these shotguns have many different configurations that I'm considering I just recently added the ProTech Streamlight weapons light to the M590A1 retrograde and the bayonet, effectively rendering that a multi-tool, if you will, a homestead multi-tool. We've had a lot of sightings of foxes and raccoons, and we did have a fox attack on our chicken, which is why I actually bought these here Hornady Varmint Express shotgun shells, which are something that I did have in the M590A1 initially, but a lot of different options and shells, and we'll just talk about that very briefly before I wrap this up, because I gotta, go start cooking dinner. I'm running batch right now. I don't have anybody on the homestead. It's just me, the chickens, and the dog. Speaking of which, Nei! Come! I don't know where that dog's at. Hold on one second. Nei! Get your butt over here. Sorry about that. Anyway, just to wrap this up, you stay here. Stay close to the master. That's what everybody's supposed to do. He just licked me. I know he's been out there eating chicken poop. Anyway, the Varmint Express, we got for personal defense, herders, buckshot. This is 2 3/4 8 pellet double-aught buckshot. Here's something that I've been running in the Shockwave. This is personal defense 12 gauge Federal Premium 5-shot shells in this particular 9 pellet double-aught buck configuration from Federal. Very interesting home defense rubber slug. Less lethal home defense ammunition. Some people will probably think that's kind of stupid. And I think they have a valid argument. If you're going duck hunting, we got the Steel Shot Flyaway from Fiocchi. And of course, let's not forget our Aguila Minis, which, again, you have to have an adapter, like something from Defender Tactical, which I have in the mail, or this particular guy here, the Opsal Mini Clip. Anyway, that's my rundown on my, quote-unquote ShTF shotguns. We say that because it gets people to come in. It's kind of, sensational, but really it has to do with personal defense, home defense, and defense of the chickens because, as I said before, we had a total fox attack and lost half the chickens. And right now there's kind of, if you believe the propaganda, an egg problem, a chicken problem. And so, one fox taking out half of my chickens took out half of my egg producing capacity, which really pisses me off. So I really hope to blast that fox with a shotgun.